Now it's time for Perspective on the programme. And normally on Perspective, our guest has one major facet to his or her life that we're inviting them here on set to talk about. Not though, so today, my guest today, because Thierry Dusautoir is a former player for the French national rugby team. He was even captain, in fact, for the 2011 World Cup rugby in New Zealand, nicknamed the Dark Destroyer. Had to get that in. And that very same year, he won International Rugby Player of the Year in 2011, only the second French person to achieve that. Now, he was recently listed as well among the top 50 rugby players of all time. But Thierry Dusautoir has so much more to him than that, because he also has a degree in chemical engineering. He's today a real entrepreneur, the boss of two companies, one an import-export company and another which specialises in sending professional SMSs or texts. And he's also a major torchbearer for Africa. His mother is Ivorian. He grew up, in fact, in Ivory Coast. Thanks very much for coming in, talking to us today. Let's talk about the sport, first of all. I mean, what was it like being such a top sportsman? And do you miss it? My producer even saw a bit of a rumour on Twitter last week that you might be going back to it.
No. I'm definitely out of rugby. I started a new life and I really enjoy it. So it was a joke of Fred Michalak, who's now in Lyon, and he's helping the president in the recruitment and something like this. And he invited me to do a training on Lyon and in Lyon, and then we started a new joke on Twitter. Yeah, and that's why.
That's why it all came about.
Rumor.
But I mean, looking at all these images of you when you were right at the top of your rugby career, as it were. I mean, what was that like, being, you know, right at the very top of the game, if you like?
Well, I don't know. At this moment, you know, you just play and you just try to be the best and to get the best experience. But you don't think about. You don't put a word or you don't put a thought about what you're doing. You're just trying to do the best. Unfortunately, we were so close to be champion in 2011, but in New Zealand it was really hard to get the title. So it was a good experience, and I'm really happy to have experienced this. But now is the time to think about something new.
And it's not difficult to leave that behind?
No, because the process was really long. I didn't think about this for a day for another to stop rugby. I started to think about this 5 years ago. I had my title, like in 2005. I got my degree in engineering, and I always thought about how I was going to go out of rugby, because it was really important for me. And in 2012, I started to think about going out of rugby, and I think I was ready when in 2017. 2017, I said that stop with rugby. And 2 years ago, 2015, I stopped my international career with the French side. It was hard to say stop, but I think it was a good moment. So
it's worked out for you?
I think so, because I'm okay right now. I really can enjoy my new life, and I think that I was in a time that I was starting to get. I started to fed up with rugby, with all the pressure. You know, the captaincy is a great thing. I learned a lot with that, but I always get a lot of pressure during so many years that I just wanted to stop it and to leave it away.
And do you think you still use some of those skills that you brought on board, if you like, when you were playing rugby in the careers that you have now?
Of course, I've learned a lot in management as captain, and you know, the sport helps the guys who used to do it to endure the difficulties. You know that you need to work a lot to get something in life, and you know how to target your purposes. So it's a good school. It's a good school, and I really enjoyed it.
And where does this drive come from? I know that you've said partly your mother, her courage and her determination. There was a major influence on your career? I mean, is that something as well which you think has kept you going all the way through?
As you say, I started. I was raised in Africa until my 10, and then we came in France. And when my parents got separated, you know, life was started to get harder. And my mom really was a really good example, because I saw so many courage and in the way she faced the difficulties every day. That when you never put a word on it, but you, like a child starting to learn, watching as his parents, and it was my case too. So this courage always was in my mind, and was when the moment was difficult. We were talking about 2011, for example. We lost the last pool game against Tonga, who was so close to be out of the game. I thought about her, you know, her courage, and I said, no, you can't give up like this. So this is her motto: never give up, and I will get it.
And you got that from her, and now you're kind of trying to do the same, aren't you, to help some of your fellow Africans, particularly, of course, people in Ivory Coast as well?
Yeah, because I'm half French and I'm half Ivorian, and I'm just talking with my heart. And when I say, like, I want to come back and to invest in this continent, in the same time, I think it's a really good choice. It's a good moment for European companies to invest back and to install a new relationship on both continents. And so I would like to maybe to be a good ambassador of this new relationship.
And obviously, as a leading sportsman, I mean, presumably you know, you're very aware of the way that you're a bit of a beacon and a role model for other people, and hopefully you can use that now as well, not only with your own companies, but to help and encourage other people in Africa too.
Yeah, why not? I'm just thinking about different projects right now, but you know, I'm really careful. I like to take my time, and while I'm starting a new project with my digital company in Africa. So maybe it will be open me other doors and started to think about something else.
Great to meet you on the programme today. Thanks very much for coming in and talking to us. Thierry Dusautoir, former captain of the French rugby team. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Let's remind